and
I reckon
see
if
what
anybody
you
saw
want.
me, mate, they'd probably come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, you look like somebody who likes pasta."
Right? Or Brett, for you, in your trauma, I mean, you know that I'm not really making fun of it because we know what it is, but it's like, hey, Brett, you look like someone who wants to get punched in the face.
Yeah, you know that. Oh, seriously, man. I seriously feel like I've got "please hit me in the face"
Sometimes
written across
out of
my
your
forehead.
pain, sometimes out of your pain, you have to find the humor, because it's like,
Yeah.
what in the actual, why did that happen? Like,
Yeah, I'm very
sorry,
fortunate. I'm very fortunate, you know what I mean? Even though I've got PTSD from being assaulted several times physically, punched in the face and that, and you know, most of the things I'm not generally triggered by. That I can see the funny side of it, you know?
right. Because we've lived through it. Well, and here's the thing, though, that we have to always understand, that people who have PTSD, CPTSD, or other mental health struggles, I call them, the different stages. So we're all in different stages of understanding all of what we have, right? And we sometimes get it one at a time, and sometimes we get the information all at once. Or we have things that we question that we might have, even though a doctor hasn't diagnosed, perhaps, as you dig deeper into your trauma, if you're healing it. So that was just something that I wanted to mention. Does anybody have anything to say about that?
I think when it comes to healing and trauma and stuff and finding light in the situation, I think that my I wouldn't even call it a healing journey, because I'm not after a destination. I was at one point. I was looking for that final, like, one day I'm going to be fine and everything's going to be good. But that don't exist, like happiness. You know, don't constantly chase happiness, because you got to find it in the present. So for me, the journey itself, like, has been the emotions have changed, the mindset has changed. You know, my understanding of things has changed, you know, my beliefs have changed. You know, I used to be very adamant about certain things growing up, and then I was like, I've started to change a bit. You know, I remember as a teenager having debates with mum. No, I'd never do that. I don't understand that. Oh no, I couldn't do that. No, people, you know. And then it's changed slightly, and I think, like, the emotions change. As I said, about that 4 years, I was really angry. Like, you know, I just remember that, just anger, like that constant in my voice and everything. And then that changed to, you know, that's changed, and, you know, my relationships have changed, and my friends have changed, my house has changed. Things have slowly been changing, even though the emotions and the trauma and the past is still the same. My thoughts around it have slightly changed, and it's not even big changes. It's been tiny little changes, like talking about habits. You know, it's no good making big changes. You know, you've got to start small and tiny little progress. I like this saying, progress, not perfection. And that goes for everything.
I remember for a long time trying to find myself and thinking that, and trying to find the old me and trying to find life back as it was again or something. And because I felt like I dropped out of it and I was coming back up into it, if you like, coming out of the hole back up to where I was before I started. And sometimes it teased me. It was like, oh man, you're just inches away, man. You're almost like there, man. You're nearly there. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to connect with people and have a laugh again like you used to be, and be the person you were. And it teased me, and I chased it for ages because it was inches away from me, you know, and it was all a lie. And I chased that for I don't know how long, until one day I finally had to give up. And now I'm the same as you, Shivanna, where I'm like, accepting that everything's changed and I have to live in the present as much as I can.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing, like, you know, people, one thing that I don't like is that soon, you know, when I go on to, you know, how to heal, and you get loads of people with like, oh, you should meditate and you should do this and you should do that. It's like they've got all the answers, but it ain't as simple as that. You know, you can lead the horse to the water, but you've got to be ready. You know, like, You can't tell, you know, it's almost like people say, oh, you've got to work on healing yourself, or you're going to be like this, you know, or...
You do, but it's on your own timeline and nobody else.
That's what I mean. Like, it's all over Facebook, like, you know, talking about, you know, how to heal and, you know, positive stuff. And it's very, very... there was a picture I came across that I posted in one of my groups.
You know, even stuff, I post lots of memes, but some of these memes, I'm not sure if I really believe them, but they get people thinking and they get people talking. And, you know, and that's what it's about, is to get people engaging in things. And
we do funny ones too.
It's like, you know, you can say, live in the present, man. If you live in the present, everything will be just fine. If you forgive everybody, everything will be just fine. Right? And some of the memes might look like that when they're up there, but they're not there for that purpose. They're there to make you think, right?
Right.
And you know,
somebody put a comment up on
healing
mine.
takes a different look. If you accidentally grazed your hand, right? And someone said to you, well, just work on the healing, man. Just work on the healing. You can't. Your body heals at a pace that it heals at. You can help it by maybe some antiseptic cream and a plaster, right? But you can't speed up that healing, really, right? It's going to go at a certain pace, and our scars are not as simple as something you can whack a band-aid on, right?
Yeah, I'll read it to you in a minute if you want. It just says, no person is 100% healed because healing isn't linear. So it's just not in one straight line, it's up and down and all over the place, and go back and forward. So we go backwards and forwards, and sometimes we're all over the place, but that's the process. Please don't think you need to be 100% healed to deserve love and good things in your life, because you absolutely do. And that means that you don't have to be 100% healed to enjoy the good. So you can be at 10% and you deserve the good. You know, you can be at the point where you're screaming and you're feeling, when you said earlier, Brett, about when your wife gets in the way and you're feeling really irritable and like, oh, just you're in my way, you know, and you feel guilty about that. I totally get that as well. You know, and we feel guilty for the feelings that we feel. And
but what I hate is when people who love you and support you know that you're triggered, and they just keep on and keep on and keep on and think that it's going to stop. And then you get off and you're like, you don't understand, right? It was here when you with me the first time, and now it's escalated to here, and you say just stop it. You need to get the hell out of my face because you don't understand what you just did to me.
And another thing I think is accepting ourselves. Like for me, accepting myself, knowing that for me it's like I couldn't quite connect the dots before of that's what's happened in the past, why does it come up now? And then I thought, you know what, it actually makes sense that I'm the way that I am now. And in the times when I'm, you know, at say 10% healed or whatever, or 10% on my journey, I'm like, I'll get, you know, I'm at 10%, and I think it's like, I used to be angry at myself for being the way that I am, and I used to not like myself for being the way that I am, and I used to really feel bad for being it. Even things not related directly to the abuse was like, say for instance, my first relationship, you know, I became really controlling and hostile and emotional. Well, no wonder I was emotional and hostile. I had so much shit going on, you know. And then it's like now, it's like things are a bit complicated in my relationship at the moment, but it's like sometimes I find that I do understand myself, but I struggle with the fact that others don't understand me. You know, so that's another conflict, you know.
Well, there's a process that's a lot like grief, which we talk about in our Megan Divine series, which I can't wait to start. It's okay that you're not okay, which is where that saying came from. But it's a lot like that, the stages. First, it's denial, right? You don't want to admit that you have anything like that. I don't know all of the steps in order, but anger, I think, might be into the next one.
It's like denial, shock, disbelief.
Yeah, that goes there.
It's just all the range of emotion.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
But acceptance in the beginning or all throughout your journey, because everyone's journey is different, could take a long time, or, like before you fully accept that, okay, I have it, but it doesn't define who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Also, as well as healing,
label, and it lets me know what it is. So I'm glad that there's a name, and I'm not crazy, but I don't necessarily have to fit in that little box of shame and guilt that the world has put around me. I can break free from that and learn different ways of thinking and live a better life. It takes a long time, but
it's funny as well because it does tease you, don't it? This whole healing thing, because all right, I'm not in the same place now as I was before, and I'm glad about that, right? But I'm still in a place, and I've still got a lot going on, and it's like I can't heal where, I feel like I don't know if I will ever heal and feel complete again, right? I don't know if that's ever going to happen. All right.
Probably not, because PTSD doesn't go away, but it will lessen.
Yeah.
If you keep working
on it. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I'm hoping for it. There'll become a lot more manageable.
Thanks so much for listening to our podcasts. Please like and subscribe for new content as it comes out. The links to support groups are in the descriptions under all of our uploads. We have regular live group chats and support each other, and we can vent when we need to. And please remember, practice setting boundaries, using grounding techniques, and know that self-care is not selfish.